Hi, this is Kevin from Let Me Tech You, and in this video, we're going to be going over how to use your Terraform directory structure in a way where you can make your code more repeatable and just kind of easier to maintain. So, just to recap, in one of my other videos, we talked about how you can, on the left side here, structure your Terraform in a way so that in like Azure or whatever provider you're using, you can make it easier to manage your resources, build resources, and kind of keep everything nice and tidy, and also a little bit separated to reduce your blast radius from bad things happening. So in this video, what I'm going to kind of show is a way on why this kind of makes things a little easier. And as you'll see here, I have a folder called AZ Product or AZTF, and I had talked about in my last video of actually maybe someone wanting to separate these out by prod, development, or sandbox, or it could be by subscription, whether it be like say HR or IT, whatever your way of doing it. And then within these, I have another folder which and could be project based. So this could be a web front end firewall or a VNet that's being deployed for connectivity. And then we also had a folder for like one-off resources such as key vaults, resource groups, storage accounts. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk through the process of building something in a way that where it can be saved and used as a template and continue to be used over and over again, and how these other folders can kind of build off using some of these other ones. So in my main.tf, I have a for each loop that's going to look through and grab every var.rg and build a resource group off of it. So I don't have anything in my TFRs, and I'll get to that in a second. So basically what I'm going to do is create a variable. I'm going to call it RG, and I'm just going to give it a description. This builds resource groups in Azure. I'm not going to give it like a default or a type or anything. So you can do types, and then, you can set it to either, you can basically set it in a way to where you can only permit certain types of characters or types to come across, whether it be integer, strings, objects, stuff like that. So I got that in there. Now I'm going to use a TFRs file. And what this does is it kind of lets you decouple your code to keep it from, being statically assigned values sitting inside of here. So now you can essentially copy these and shift it and put it in other environments, and it can essentially be the same. And the only thing that would change would be the values that people put inside their TFRs file. So I'm going to create a input here. I'm just going to call it RG because that's the name of my variable. And then I'm going to create a map of different resource groups that I want to create. So the first one's going to be RG1, and that's going to equal my name. So I'm going to need a name. Going to call it Kevin RG test, and then location, and it's going to be all right. And then now I'm going to create another resource group. It's going to be called RG2, and then I'm going to create and then put it in the same region. All right, so we're going to save that. Make sure our variables file is saved as well. We're already authenticated. So now what we're saying is for each var.rg, name equals each.value.name, and the location is going to be each.value.location. As we can see within our variables file, we don't have anything set for default. So we're going to now do a Terraform plan. Oh, well, we have to define our TFR file. So it's going to be Terraform plan. And it's going to be plus inputs.tfrs. So this is basically now, since I didn't define that variable or the TFRs file, it's there's no default value in our variables. So in our first instance here, it's asking us to enter a value. So as we can see here, we got two resource groups that's going to be created. So now what I'm going to do is do a Terraform, actually just go up and then hit apply. So that's one way to do that there. Now that once those get built, we can essentially now say this is Azure. Those are some resources that had gotten deployed. Let's say we want to create a storage account the same kind of way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this providers.tf because I'm using Azure. And we're going to paste that into the storage account. The main.tf, we can copy that too. We're going to make some changes in that. But we're basically going to deploy this inside of a storage account that's already created. So if we go, so the resource, so it's going to be Azure RM underscore storage account. We're going to call that main as well. For each, it's going to be, we're just going to call it storage. And in my variables, let's just create the file. And this doesn't have to be called variables.tf. It can be called storage.tf or whatever you want to call it. It really just looks at the variable block there. And then we're going to also do a TFRs as well. So now when we go, let's go inside of our variables file. We're going to put a variable, call it storage. And I essentially just need to know everything that, let me pull this over here so you can see it. So if we go Terraform website, or not tutorials, basically going to go to the registry and we're going to look for Azure, or look storage account. So we got the storage account here. And so we know that we need to, there's some required parameter arguments here. So we need name, resource group, location. All this other stuff, there's some account replication type, account tier. So let's go ahead and actually take all of this. And we're not going to use the network rules or anything like that or tagging. We'll take that out just to make this more simpler. So we're going to go ahead and take all of this, paste it in there, take that block out, take all of this out. Okay. Now, so we have a for each var, so we know we need a name, resource group name, location, account tier, account replication type. Now, the reason I want to show you this with the storage account is because now we want this to be deployed inside of a resource group that's already basically deployed. So what we're going to need is a data block that's going to be called, actually, let's go and grab that here. So we want to look for a resource group. And we want to look under data sources. So Azure RM resource group. So we're going to copy that, paste that in there. We're going to call it main. This naming doesn't matter, just has to be unique within your files. And the name was going to have to be the existing resource group name that's created. So if we go into, let's copy all of this here. And we're going to put this in our inputs here. And it's going to be called storage. And then say storage 1. You can make it the name of the storage account, whatever. And we basically need all of this information here. All right, so we are going to, so now resource group name is going to be and these here can be whatever you want to call them. It doesn't have to be exactly named. It's basically just based off how you call it in the file. So this could actually be called existing RG to make it a lot simpler. And I like to kind of line these up here a little bit. So the storage account name, it's going to have to be unique. So let's try to do, just some random characters. Let's do Kevin, let me tech you 2023. And let's just take some random characters out. So, and then the existing resource group name is going to be called Kevin RG Test. And paste that in there. And then the location is going to be, let's put Central US. And then standard LRS. Okay, so now we have this set. We can create another one. We actually don't even need a for each. Well, let's just keep it simple now. We only got one. So this is going to be storage or no, var.storage. And then if we look at let's go back up, dot name. So var.storage.name. This is going to be var.storage.existing. I must have not put a RG. Oh, existing underscore. So that's existing underscore RG. var.storage.location. And then all right, so save that. Oh, and then this is going to be, oh, actually, no, what? So sorry. The resource group name is going to be the data block. Sorry. Because it has to, we're already authenticated into this exact same region that I'm in. So it's going to be data dot, there we go. And then dot name. And we could actually do a data dot resource group dot main dot location to get the location as well, but we'll just take it from the from our TFR file. So let's save that. Make sure this is saved. And this is saved as well. So now what we're going to need to do is, I need to actually create these. Looks like I forgot to there. So once these get created, it should take a second here. I'm going to have to go into that folder. So let's go out of here. And then let's do a Terraform init. So that's going to initialize the backend, download any modules or plugins needed, and then we're going to do a Terraform plan. And it's going to be var file equals inputs dot tf vars. Missing key value separator inputs. Let me look and see what we got here. Storage. Oh, okay. So now that the plan runs, we're going to check and see, make sure we don't have any errors. It should see that the, let's see here, resource group existing was not found. Oh, I must have not have saved. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Actually, this needs to be var dot storage dot existing underscore rg. Okay, so let's try that again here. Let's see this. var.storage object one attribute storage. The object does not have an attribute name existing rg. Let's see here what we got wrong in our. Oh, you know what? So actually, yeah. So we're gonna actually have to. So I got it a little backed up there. So that's actually is going to be. You actually do need to put the name of the argument. So let's go back one, figure out what that was. Resource group name. All right, so let's save that. So what I meant by the naming not having to matter. Let me see. Why is it saying? Oh, on my main.tf here. Storage dot. I'm getting a lot of errors here. Let's clean this up. All right. So let's see here. So it's thinking unsupported attribute. The object does not have an attribute name. Resource group name. Let's do some troubleshooting. So var.storage.resource group name. Let's see here. Resource group name. Storage. So looks like we got var.storage.location, var.storage.account tier, main.name, storage.location. So it's not picking up the. I wonder if I have to usually typically do the. Just looking at my variables again. So variable var.storage. And let's should be coming across. So I wonder if it's because I got the one. Let's actually take this out. Because I usually use that in like a for each loop. So it might be messing up there. So there we go. Yeah, so I just didn't have it defined right. I can go back and check. There's a way to kind of map that out. So essentially, I was sending over the storage one, and I didn't have it in a way that it could loop through and actually read the key value pairs within the additional brackets there. So now that this is all set, we can actually see it's going to be going inside of the resource group. If we look and see Kevin RG test. So now if we go to a Terraform apply, and let's just do an auto approve. This is just going to build it directly for us. And if we pull up our portal here, we should see our resource groups that's been deployed. Kevin RG test, Kevin RG test 2. We can see stored account being created. So with that being said, now we have ways to not only keep the resources separate, but you can also utilize resources that were deployed, even though they were one-offs, by using data blocks to access the resources, whether it be in different subscriptions or different just folders itself. Now, the one thing to be cautious of with that, so let me refresh this here, is you could potentially, cause issues if you were to make changes to things in other resource groups that could essentially affect, or you can have issues where, say, you deleted something. So, like, let's say I removed. Let's go back here. And we're going to call this Kevin RG test, or TE, and save it. Go back. Apply, auto approve. What this is going to do is notice a change in the resource group name, and then it's going to destroy it. Now, the problem is it's probably not going to destroy it because it sees that there are files inside of the folder there. But let's pretend like we deleted this resource group. So I'm going to delete this. So we deleted that resource group, or some particular resource that is calling this. So let's say it's a key vault or something that a VM's calling to grab a password from, and you deleted the key vault that was built in another Terraform somewhere. If I go back into my storage account, it's probably actually let's open up another terminal, and let's do a Terraform plan, and let's see if it actually can still see the resource group that we deleted. It might still be, yeah, it's going to take some time to delete. But basically what I'm kind of get at is the that you when you have those dependencies across folders and things like that, you could probably have some potential problems. Now, it looks like it's going to show that it deploys, but then once I deploy it, it'll probably fail because that resource group is getting deleted. So you want to make sure that you have good documentation. Try not to maybe utilize this too much in the sense where you're spider webbing too much, dependencies across the board. I can see something as far as like resource groups, because you wouldn't necessarily want to delete a resource group with active resources in it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you wouldn't delete a key vault without knowing that, oh, it's being utilized by, say, 5 VMs or some other service somewhere that's also using Terraform. So again, that's it in terms of another instance of using proper Terraform structure as far as folder directories. If you have any questions in regards to anything I did in this video today, get back with me and I'll be sure to assist where I can. Maybe help set up and identify some ways of improving in areas that maybe I did in this video, or even some ways that can help you improve. Again, like and subscribe if you can. Again, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you next time.